couldn't go on another day. I was broken. I was crying so hard. Like, hi guys. I hope you're feeling amazing. So, we have some changes. As I said before, I was transforming my room. It's still ongoing, but the bed area is very, very close to finishing. Right now, I don't have curtains, as you guys can see. So later on, we'll be able to have even more light and have it a bit more soft. But we already have our lovely bedding. It looks so pretty. I have a cute little flower in the back. And I wanted to bring this energetics of this coziness with this episode because this episode is very dear to my heart. It was one of the hardest things that I had to go through. And all I can say is that this video is for that girl that smiles through her issues and always sees herself as the strong one. And I hope that I can pass on the message and the lesson that I'm bringing here for you today. So, before anything else that we could ever say, let's get started. When was the last time that you let yourself fall apart without feeling guilt? I know for a fact that if you clicked on this video and you're listening right now, you probably are that type of person that if anything comes across you, you describe yourself as the strong one. But what is to be the strong one? For me, it was not allowing myself to cry, never showing a weak part, never letting myself just be myself, and believing that everything that showed any sort of weakness was the wrong thing to show. I never really allowed myself to understand that one being the strong one maybe wasn't the right thing to do. One always feels the pressure to be the strong one. You especially see this with older siblings or people of authority or people that have things that they need to keep it going, like people in the medical field, lawyers, people that need to not, basically, they have to not show their emotions, or at least they're conditioned to not have to show them or forced to not show them. We are programmed from the start to act a certain way, to portray a certain image, and unfortunately, certain acts are seen as too feminine or even weak. We especially see this with our men, but with women seems to have an even greater effect. With men, they're taught to be this macho man, to have this certain persona, to have this idea of the world. But with women, if we're not the strong one, we're seen as weak. And not any type of weak, the worst kind. Normally, a lot of people don't realize how it shows up in real life. We're talking about overfunctioning, never asking for help. We're talking about someone that never really shows emotion, or at least never shows their bad emotions, aka crying, feeling upset, feeling frustrated. When they do, they're at their breaking point. And that's exactly how people see it. Oh, this person that I thought was a strong one, she cried the other day. She's at her breaking point. She's not at her breaking point. She always felt that way. The only difference here is that she couldn't hold it in anymore. And a lot of people go through that, of feeling like you can't hold it in anymore. And you want to know what you do? Let me tell you. Imagine if this is the case that you are in, and if you do, let me know in the comment section if you related to this story, because this was my story. I would wake up, I would study, I would work, I would do all these things. I did everything that I could for my family. I cooked, I cleaned, I did all that I could, never asked for anything back. As time progressed, as I gained this idea of the hardworking one, the strong one, the big old sister, the child that never got upset, the child that never got angry, the child that never raised her voice. We could beat her up with a stick and she would stay the same. I would cry at night. I would cry in the shower. I would be so angry with myself. Why didn't I told them how I felt? Why didn't I say that one thing? Why didn't I stood up for myself at work? When I used to be a student in high school, all the time I would get bullied and I would be thinking, what the heck? Why didn't I stand up for myself? Why didn't I spoke up when people assumed that I was fine? Because the strong one is a myth. No one is just strong. No one is just resilient. We have moments and phases where we are less shakeable, where we can just turn around issues quicker because maybe we don't have anything going on that could affect us. But when you're dealing with maybe a family member dying, a pet dying, you're dealing with maybe issues at work, issues at school, issues left, right, and center, are you really just expected to not react? To just lift your chin up high, puff out your chest, and keep moving? I don't think so. We all should feel and understand how we feel and let it out because that is a healthy thing to do. What tends to happen is once you're trying to be the strong one, you start to help out everyone. You start to do everything, and it starts to get disguised for productivity. You are assumed to be this highly organized, highly productive person, when in reality, you're just spreading yourself thin. You're doing so many things, helping so many people, trying to have this persona just keep going. And that's just gonna crack. And you're just gonna find yourself in a very dark place because you're just gonna disconnect from people. You're not going to be able to achieve any of your goals. You're going to feel a disconnect with yourself, with your own feeling, with your own person, because you're not going to recognize yourself in the mirror. You're going to be looking at the mirror and you're going to be seeing a completely different person than what you actually are. If you journal, if you meditate, if you're a Pilates princess, you're not going to connect to it unless you actually physically want to do it. But guess what? That strong persona that you created, that idealistic idea of yourself, that is not real. That was a facade you created. And that facade will not last long enough. It could last you a couple days, a couple months, a couple years. For me, it lasted years. That persona fell apart in 2020. It completely shattered. I had this idea of what I was, of what I thought I was. But one day it just broke me. I was broken. I had this awakening in December of 2020, right after my dog Flower passed away. I found myself in the turning of the year from 2020 to 2021, and I had this awakening of like, I am being too strong. I am trying too hard. I am not connecting to anything that I'm doing. I realized that I was hiding how I felt about her death. I was hiding how I felt about myself physically and emotionally. I wasn't connected with anyone in my family. I didn't get along with anyone. I had this idea of what I was and what I wanted to be. And on top of that, being unemployed and having come out of an injury, I was in the right or wrong path, depending how you see it, to just have a complete major breakdown. And it was horrible. I never cried so hard in my life. I never felt so hurt in my life. I was crying so hard. Like, I spent the whole night crying. I couldn't even sleep that night. My 31st to 1st, that whole transition, I didn't want it to sleep. I was scared of sleeping. I was having panic attack after panic attack. I was just crying nonstop. I just couldn't go on to the next year. I couldn't go on another day not listening to myself. And I had a major breakthrough. I truly felt completely and utterly just breaking open. I felt like on that day I had just woken up, and it made me realize that I was putting on this facade of never asking for help, of pretending that everything was fine, not letting out of my chest what I felt, what I saw, how I understood anything. And it was incredibly thought provoking to my own brain, all of the things that flooded in. I came to realize that my subconscious was fighting my consciousness. I In my consciousness, I was like, I need to be strong. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to portray this thing. I need to project this image. When in reality, I needed to heal. I had trauma that I needed to take care of. I had visions of myself that I had to understand. I was completely and utterly broken open. I came to the realization that the idea of being the strong one was just a facade, was just an idea of what I thought I was. Because in reality, I am not strong. I may be the weakest person that you may ever meet. What I am is ambitious, and I'm organized, and I'm caring, and I'm loving, and I am accessible to people. People can come to me and speak to me. I never saw myself that way. I saw as people come to me because I appear this way, because I am the strong one, and they come to me for advice because I am the strong one, because I have it all together. I didn't have it all together. It was a complete opposite. I was a complete mess. I wasn't organized. I wasn't clean. I wasn't doing everything right. I was failing left, right, and center. I did 3 businesses in a space of 4 months, and they all failed. I had the idea for doing craft soaps. It failed within a month. I had the idea of doing candles. It failed within a month. I had multiple moments of complete and utter failure, and I wasn't seeing it because I was like, oh, I'll just keep going. I'll keep the same name, but I'll keep going. I'll try a new product. I bought a bookshelf to put the products, and I did Facebook Lives, and it just didn't work because I wasn't being authentic. I was lying to myself. I was lying. I was pretending who I was, what I stand for, what I liked. I was a complete and utter mess. When I had my breakdown and I started to just look into myself, I spent a whole year at home unemployed, but I was healing. I realized what I like, what I didn't like, the things that I connected with. I started to realize my issues, my traumas, my concerns. I started to understand myself better. I started to connect with myself. I started to change the way that I dress, change the way that I do my hair, because I started to realize that at the same time that I tried to bring out a persona that wasn't real, I also created an image of myself that wasn't real. And that led me down a path of having no confidence, of not having friends, of canceling everything, of not connecting with my family, not connecting with myself. It all started by me understanding that I just had to soften up, that I just had to slow down. So I wanted to give you a step by step on things that you can do to start dropping the strong one persona and to embrace a level of softness that doesn't mean that you're just going to slow down. And when I mean slow down, I don't mean I'm just going to be lazy in bed and do nothing. I'm talking about understanding that the act of slowing down is giving yourself space, is giving yourself the peace of mind that you can just do your goals regardless. You can still work hard. You can still be productive. You can still achieve everything that you want to achieve without running yourself to the ground. First of all, I need you to let your emotions just run its course. Be free, cry, be angry. Don't try to fix it. Just let it go. Just let it run its course. Believe it or not, we need that as human beings to let our emotions just flow. It is a lot more healthy for us than to just push them down. Pause before you push. What I mean by pushing is sometimes, and I can give you guys a direct example. When I decided to start this podcast, I had this moment of, okay, I have been doing it in audio format. Audio format is super easy for me. But I want to pivot. I want to evolve. I want to do more. I want to be more. And one of the ways that I saw left, right, and center people shifting to is video format. So doing their same old podcasts, having the same messaging, but just having it in a video format. But what that means for me is if I do audio, just to give you an idea, I can just be on my pajamas, no makeup on, just came back from work, and in a slot of time, I can just maybe pump out 5 to 6 episodes back to back to back through audio on a day. But when I do video, this takes time, this takes effort, it takes a lot more editing, it takes a lot more time, it takes a lot more planning. It's not 100% non thought out. What I mean non thought out is I don't think of my script a lot. I think of the theme like I did with the audio. I think of the theming, things that I want to point out, but I need to plan a time of day. I need to plan a day. I need to do my makeup. I need to do my hair. I need to pick an outfit. I need to also figure out how early do I need to record on the week so that I can edit. Because for me, audio-based editing was so much easier because if you already have a really good quality audio, the editing is super fast. But when you're concerned about angles, if the light hits right, if something goes wrong, if you need to reshoot for some reason, it makes it so much harder on video. So I had to pause before I pushed. Okay, is this the right path for me right now? Am I ready? Do I have the time? And guess what? My time became even worse. But it was the best decision that I did. I'm so happy that I did it. I'm able to connect with you in a completely different setting. And I felt like just you guys listening to my voice was just not enough. And I felt that need. But of course, I had to pause before I pushed. I had to wait to see if that was the right path to do. And it was the best thing that I ever did. And on top of that, I know for a fact that my time is even more limited. I work and I go to college and I do this and I post on social media and I have more than one platform. So it just is full of things. I am nonstop. But every single time that I feel like I got to push myself a little more, I pause and I analyze and I ask, okay, what do I need to tend to right now? What do I need to evaluate right now before I do this push? And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, then we'll figure out a different option. Practice honest connection. Let someone in. Let a friend, a therapist, a family member, whoever you feel comfortable with, let them in. Tell them how you feel, how you've been struggling. Make sure it's someone that you know that you're able to connect with, that you're able to just let them know how you feel and them not being judgmental or pushing you down. Someone that you truly know for a fact that you can just let them in and have them understand you at a deeper level. Replace your inner sergeant by your inner nurturer. What I mean by that is sometimes we have this little army in our heads that tells us, like, hey, you gotta stand up straight. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You haven't done this. You haven't done that. It's very like, go, 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 go. But in reality, you need a nurturer. You need a mother. You need someone inside of your brain to say, it's okay. I know you didn't have a good day today. No one is expecting you to do anything. Oh, you live alone and you just got home and you're tired? Okay, try to see if you have leftovers, sweetie. It's okay. You don't have to be healthy every day. You can just eat the frozen pizza that you have in the back burner. Because we all have good and bad days. We all have moments where we don't do everything perfect. And this is coming from someone that I study nutrition. I know for a fact that idealistically you should be eating healthy every day. But that's why I believe in the 80-20 rule. A lot of dietitians also believe in that kind of rule, which is 80% of the time you eat as healthy as you humanly can. The vegetables, the fruits, and all that. And then you have that 20% that it's that sweet from time to time. The birthday party that you went to, the wedding that you have this weekend, that one day that you worked so hard and your dinner just a little more unconventional. Because that is completely fine. And having within your own person your inner nurturer, your mother figure inside of your brain is just gonna make it so much easier, because she's not gonna just talk about the food aspect or the health aspect. She's gonna talk about also your emotions. I know you feel sad, you can be sad. I know you feel frustrated, you have the right to feel frustrated. Is allowing yourself to understand that we can be loving to each other and we can appreciate what we do every single day, even if that day goes a little less good than the previous one. I want to make sure that you understand that being soft and being slower is not a weakness. For me, softness and slowness taught me how to be more methodical, how to plan better, how to adjust my goals, and how to make better, more precise moves in my life. When I felt the need to slow down, not only for my stress levels and for my health, and to have more time by myself and with my family and with my friends, and have more time in my day to be able to do things that I love, I knew for a fact that I had to learn a lot of things along the way. I had to learn more organization skills. I had to learn management skills. I had to learn how to connect with people, how to connect with myself, what I needed intrinsically and extrinsically to make me look and feel good. And at the same time, it taught me how to manage my time. So I was able to slow down and I was able to not have to rush to anything. My organization skills allowed me to be on top of everything, to not have anything not be delivered on time, to not have anything go berserk, to not have anything go wrong when it came to anything that I planned for. Of course, mishaps happen. For example, you guys are seeing an episode that should have gone last week because unfortunately I got sick. I had no voice. And because I had no voice, I couldn't ever record. I wouldn't be able to, because I like to record these videos from week to week. And I do that way so that I'm able to bring up a topic that may naturally flow through. I find that more authentic. But that means that there was a week there was no episode. And I warned everyone, I told everyone. And that didn't stop me. That just basically meant that, hey, while I'm sick and I have no voice, let me plan other stuff. Let me take care of other things. You prioritize, you create a prioritization list. You see what is important, what isn't. If something isn't working, you just let it go. And that allowed me to become softer, to let me appreciate life, to have moments of just pure silence, of appreciating a sunlight hitting someone's back, of appreciating a beautiful view, of going out with my family and not having to worry about that one assignment or that one thing I got to study or the fact that I haven't finished editing my video. I don't need to worry about that because I have everything planned and everything organized so that nothing has to be rushed, so that nothing needs to be left unturned. And when it comes to my goals, I became more focused into understanding what I truly wanted. What did I need to do? Breaking it down into small steps and things that I could concentrate into amounts of time. Anything that I do when it comes to social media, I tend to concentrate it in a space of around 2 to 3 hours. So, in around 3 hours, I always try to record the podcast, create any sort of content, edit everything up, and have everything batched up for the whole week. Now, is it easy? Do I sometimes run over the time? Do I sometimes F up and I'm listening to too much music? Yeah, I do. This is sometimes it takes long because I have everyone in the house and there's some sort of noise, which is possible in this video because once again, I have everyone in the house. Yes, but do I give up? Nope. I keep it pushing and I keep it going because that's the right way to do it. I prefer it that way. I feel more comfortable accepting this softness of letting this side of myself come forward. And it has given me so much joy because I'm able to just appreciate everything in life instead of being stuck in everything else. If you're still carrying the weight of being the strong one, you can put it down. You're not the first one nor the last one to have to go through all of this. And believe me, it is not an easy thing to let go. But the moment that you do, you're going to have one day where you're going to finally have a sigh of relief and you're going to finally understand exactly what it means to let that go and how much you are going to grow and understand about yourself the moment that you do. You are not alone in this journey. I went through this journey and still am. There is still days where I want to hide everything that I feel. And it will always be on the back of your mind. But I can tell you that just taking that first step of knowing that you want to let it go, that will be the most powerful, most meaningful moment that you could ever have in your life when it comes to that persona. And if you already have let it go, I would love to hear your story. And if you haven't let it go yet, what is your concern or reason of why you haven't done it yet? And I'll be here reading every single one of your comments and helping you along the way. Your softness is sacred. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn healing. You can just be yourself. You can just let it go. You can just be undone. You can just be whatever you want to be with no questions asked. Strength doesn't always look like you're pushing through. Sometimes it's crying in the dark. Sometimes it's asking for help and saying no. You don't have to just be strong in the idea of someone else. Strength, true strength, is showing your weakness, is allowing others in, is asking for help when you need to, and it's understanding that there will be good and bad days. No one in this world is ever going to judge you for just being authentic, for just allowing yourself to just be. You can be as emotional, as happy, as crazy as you want. You can lean into softness, you can be feminine, you can be strong because strength, true strength, is showing every single part of you and being confident in yourself. It doesn't have to do with having this image, this facade of not showing anything, of presenting an image of what other people think that strength is. So, If this message resonated with you and you like and you like what you have seen so far, I hope I could be a big sister or a helper or a friend. I hope that I am able to connect with you and pass on the message. And I hope that maybe my video has created a little seed for you to just allow yourself to slow down and get a little softer, just a little more. I hope you have a wonderful, amazing day and an amazing week. And I'll see you next week. Have a lovely day. Stay beautiful. Bye bye.